The Ford F-150, America's best-selling truck for over 4 decades. It's strong, reliable, and deeply rooted in the American auto industry. But what if I told you that the very truck we call Made in America is built with parts from over 24 countries? And what happens if tariffs, taxes on imports, suddenly make all those parts more expensive? In this video, we're breaking down the Ford F-150 like never before. We'll show you how global its supply chain really is, and how political decisions, like auto tariffs, could impact not just the price of your next pickup, but the entire auto industry. Global parts of the F-150. Let's start with what makes the Ford F-150 so special, its engineering. But here's the truth, building one isn't just an American job. It's a global mission. The engine control units, sourced from Mexico and Germany. Transmission components, many of them come from Japan and South Korea. Wiring harnesses, essential to the truck's electronics, are manufactured in countries like China, Thailand, and the Philippines. Even the display screens and infotainment systems often originate in Taiwan or Malaysia. Some steel and aluminum parts are imported from Canada and Brazil. Sensors and microchips. They're manufactured in plants across Taiwan, the Netherlands, and even Hungary. Tires. Brazil, Thailand, and sometimes even Turkey. The airbags, life-saving components, are frequently produced in Japan and Mexico. That's over 24 countries involved in building what we proudly call an American truck. It shows how deeply integrated the auto world has become. What are auto tariffs? Now, let's talk tariffs. A tariff is basically a tax that a government places on imported goods. The goal? Protect domestic industries and encourage local production. But here's the twist, in a globally connected market like auto manufacturing, tariffs can backfire. If the US government adds a new tariff, say, 25% on imported auto parts, that cost doesn't magically disappear. It gets passed down the chain. Manufacturers pay more. Dealers pay more. And guess who ends up covering the difference? You, the customer. How tariffs hit the F-150. So let's apply this to the F-150. Imagine if tariffs were placed on all those imported components. That would drive up production costs significantly. According to estimates, a 25% tariff on imported parts could add between $1,200 to $2,000 to the cost of a single Ford F-150. Multiply that by millions of units sold annually, and you're looking at billions in added costs for manufacturers and consumers alike. And it doesn't end there. Suppliers in countries like Mexico, Canada, and China might retaliate with their own tariffs, further increasing costs for U.S. automakers operating abroad. That creates a ripple effect across the entire supply chain. Impact on jobs and industry. It's not just about prices. Higher costs could lead to reduced demand. Fewer sales mean manufacturers may have to cut back on production, which could put thousands of American jobs at risk, especially in assembly plants that rely on just-in-time delivery from global suppliers. Ironically, a move meant to protect American jobs could end up hurting them. Plants might slow down or shut down. Small suppliers and parts manufacturers could go out of business. And new vehicle development could be delayed because of rising R&D and sourcing costs. Why global sourcing matters? The truth is, cars, and trucks like the F-150, aren't built in just one place anymore. They're assembled from a network of the best technologies, talents, and materials from across the globe. That global system has allowed automakers to innovate faster, reduce costs, and deliver better vehicles to customers. Trying to reverse that by imposing high tariffs doesn't just hurt automakers, it hurts the consumers, the workers, and the industry at large. So, the next time you see an F-150 rolling down the highway, remember, it's more than just a truck. It's the result of global collaboration. And while the badge may say, "Built Ford Tough," behind the scenes, it's built by a worldwide network of engineers, suppliers, and factories. Tariffs may sound like a patriotic move, but in the modern auto world, they could do more harm than good. Because in today's economy, no vehicle, not even an American icon, is truly made in one place. Outro. Thanks for watching. If you found this breakdown helpful, hit that like button and subscribe for more deep dives into the auto world. Got questions or opinions on tariffs and auto prices? Drop them in the comments, we'd love to hear your take. Donald Trump has indeed made a significant U-turn on vehicle tariffs. Here's what's happening. Vehicle tariff details. Tariff rate: a 25% tariff has been imposed on all imported cars, including those from Mexico and Canada. Effective date. The tariff took effect on April 3, 2025, for non-USMCA compliant brands manufacturing in Canada or Mexico. USMCA exemption. Initially, Trump agreed to delayed tariffs on USMCA compliant vehicles, but later imposed the 25% tariff on all imported cars. Impact and reactions. Auto industry impact. The tariffs are expected to hurt American companies more than foreign competitors, with Ford CEO Jim Farley warning of a hole in the U.S. industry. Stock market reaction. The announcement of tariffs triggered a stock market crash, with Trump later claiming that markets would boom despite continued market falls. Economic projections. The tariffs have contributed to lower GDP growth projections by the Federal Reserve and OECD, with rising expectations of a recession. Trump's trade policy. Protectionist approach. Trump's tariffs aim to protect American workers and promote domestic manufacturing. Reciprocal tariffs. The U.S. will impose tariffs based on reciprocity, with countries imposing higher tariffs on U.S. goods facing higher tariffs on their exports to the U.S. Superscript 1.